आज के इस विश्लेषण में we're breaking down the ultimate 2026 AI-powered full-stack roadmap. Seriously, if you're looking to build a highly lucrative career in web development right now, you gotta know that the rules of the game have completely changed. The days of just, learning some basic coding and expecting a massive salary, yeah, those days are over. Today, in this explainer, we're talking about supercharging the MERN stack. So that's MongoDB, Express, React, and Node with artificial intelligence. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this because we really need to address the massive elephant in the room right away. Since 2022, basically when tools like ChatGPT first exploded onto the scene, we've seen approximately 8,500 IT jobs lost to AI according to recent data. I mean, that sounds completely terrifying, doesn't it? It really begs the question, is AI actually stealing web dev jobs? Well, the reality is a bit more nuanced. Yes, AI is replacing a specific type of worker, but honestly, it's mainly replacing developers who just refuse to adapt to these new tools.
And this brings us perfectly to the tale of two coders. Let's call them Raju and Shyam. So Raju went the traditional route. He followed some random, outdated roadmap he found online, built a few generic, honestly kind of boring projects, and just blindly applied to companies. The result? Absolutely zero interview calls. Ouch. Then we have Shyam. Shyam did his market research first. He realized that modern companies want modern problem solvers, right? So he followed an AI-powered roadmap. The result for Shyam? He landed a 12 LPA, that's 1.2 million rupees a year, job right out of college. Companies are literally hunting for the Shyams of the world.
So here is your comprehensive 6-step hero's blueprint to secure a highly paid AI full-stack position. We're going to cover 1. The AI job reality. 2. Web dev foundations. 3. Backend and bug-free code. 4. Full-stack integration. 5. Mastering AI integration. And finally, 6. Landing your dream job. Let's do this. Starting off with step 1, the AI job reality. Adapt or get left behind. And this brilliantly illustrates a fundamental truth of 2026. AI isn't just killing jobs, it's simultaneously creating massive, unparalleled opportunities for those who know how to wield it. If you look at the climatic motion graphics on this particle data chart, it's pretty wild. A traditional web developer who only knows basic HTML and CSS, they're looking at an average starting salary of roughly 3 LPA. But watch what happens when you add AI to your toolkit. An AI mid-level developer jumps to around 11 LPA, and an AI senior developer literally skyrockets to between 22 and 25 LPA. It's crazy. AI skills alone are what create this massive financial gap. It is, without a doubt, the ultimate multiplier for your market value. Moving on to step 2, web dev foundations, building the house. Before you even think about writing a single line of complex code, you need the basics: computer literacy, a solid grasp of internet protocols, and enough English to read technical documentation. Once you've got that down, think of building a website exactly like building a house. It's a great metaphor. HTML is your structure. It's the bare walls and the roof. CSS, that's the paint and interior design. It makes that structure actually look beautiful. And JavaScript? JavaScript is the electricity. It brings the whole house to life. Allowing the lights to turn on and the doors to open when you interact with them. You absolutely must master JavaScript. It is the absolute core foundation for everything else we're going to talk about today. So once that foundation is rock solid, you need to pick a front-end framework. Right now, React is the undisputed king. Why? Because an overwhelming 80% of Indian developer jobs demand React skills. It's that huge. You've got to focus on core concepts like components, props, and hooks, and apply them by building real projects, maybe something like an expense tracker. But please, listen to this massive warning. Do not use AI to just blindly copy and paste front-end code. Use AI as your 24/7 tutor to explain the concepts. If you just rely on copy-pasting, I promise you, your fundamental understanding will completely collapse the second you face a real-world bug. All right, step 3. Backend and bug-free code, the hidden engine. This is where we step away from what the user actually sees and handle the hidden machinery, stuff like Node.js Express and databases. But this introduces a pretty terrifying reality. The moment your site goes live, it can break under pressure. Imagine this scenario. You build a to-do list app. It works flawlessly on your computer. But the second it goes live, a user clicks a deleted task, and bam, the app freezes. And they get this terrifying blank white screen. We call this the silent bug danger. The old way of manual testing would totally miss this, costing you hours, maybe days of wasted time.
But the modern way? Using an AI-powered tool like TestSprite. TestSprite basically acts as an automated, tireless QA engineer. It automatically clicks through your app, finds exactly where it crashes, and shoots you an instant bug report before a real user ever experiences the error. It's a total game changer.
Setting up this kind of automated safety net is actually incredibly easy. There are just 3 simple steps to integrate TestSprite. First, you generate your API key on their website. Second, connect it directly into your IDE, like VS Code or your Cloud Code environment. And third, install the MCP extension. Just like that, boom, you have an intelligent agent actively testing your front end, your back end, and even making sure your AI features are outputting sensible answers. That brings us perfectly to step 4, full stack integration, connecting the dots. Because knowing React, Node, and MongoDB separately, it simply isn't enough anymore. The real value comes from making them talk to each other perfectly. Let's move to and see how this builds a complete system. Imagine an e-commerce website. First, you have a front-end trigger, like the user clicks place order in your React app. Next, a REST API request securely sends that specific order data over the internet. Then comes back-end processing, where Node.js and Express step in to, say, check the inventory and process the logic. Finally, database storage, where that finalized order is safely saved in MongoDB Atlas. Mastering this exact flow, this entire pipeline, is what elevates you from a coder to a true full-stack engineer.
But look, your app isn't actually finished if it only lives on your laptop. You must deploy it. You've got to add essential integrations like secure login systems using JWT and bcrypt. Then, you need to host your front end on platforms like Vercel, put your back end on Render or Railway, and run your database on MongoDB Atlas. Why is this whole shebang mandatory? Because recruiter and hiring managers, they don't want to read raw code on a resume. They need live, clickable links to instantly experience what you've built for themselves.
Now we enter the absolute most critical phase. Step 5, mastering AI integration, the 2026 differentiator.
Being a standard full-stack developer today, well, that just gets your resume looked at. Transitioning into an AI-powered developer is what actually secures those top-tier job offers. To pull this off, you need to intimately understand LLMs, or large language models. Think of an LLM like ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini as a highly intelligent digital brain. It processes text, it grasps subtle context, and it generates incredibly smart responses. As a modern developer, your job is to use API calls to plug these massive cloud-based brains directly into your own applications. You're effectively giving your web apps custom AI capabilities. How cool is that?
So how do you actually execute this? First up, you need to know how to securely fetch and manage your API keys in your backend. This is crucial. If you leak these keys, other people can rack up massive bills on your account. Nobody wants that. Second, you must understand exactly how to format the requests you send to the AI and how to parse the responses you get back. You also really need to master token calculation so you understand exactly how much each AI request is costing you. And finally, you have to implement rigorous prompt engineering. Honestly, 99% of people out there don't know how to reliably extract accurate answers from an AI. Structuring the right prompt is no longer just a neat trick, it's a mandatory coding skill.
Which leads us to our final step. Step 6, landing your dream job, the ultimate formula. We've built the technical foundation, so now let's translate all of that into signed job offers. First, you need a highly optimized portfolio formula. Learn the high-level basics of system design. We're talking concepts like load balancing and caching. Then tackle data structures and algorithms, or DSA. But please, hear me out on this. Do not obsess entirely over DSA. Solving around 100 to 150 LeetCode questions is the absolute sweet spot to pass Indian corporate interviews without completely burning yourself out. Beyond that, showcase your code on GitHub, make a few open-source contributions, and ruthlessly optimize your LinkedIn and Naukri profiles so recruiters can actively find you.
So the crucial point is this: building just 2 incredibly high-quality AI-integrated projects is infinitely more valuable than building 20 basic, boring calculators or to-do lists. Here are your 2 golden projects to focus on. Project 1, an AI interview coach. Imagine an app where a user uploads their CV, selects a role, and your app uses AI to conduct a custom interview and provide instant feedback. Huge value there. Project 2, a smart study assistant. This one relies on RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. A student uploads a PDF, the AI reads it, and then answers specific questions based solely on that uploaded document. If you build these 2 projects and deploy them, you will stand entirely apart from the crowd, for sure.
Which brings us to our final provocative question for you to chew on.
Are you ready to start your journey as an AI-powered full-stack engineer today? Look, this 6-month roadmap, it isn't easy, not at all. But if you dedicate 3 to 4 focused hours a day to this, the financial freedom and the high-paying tech career you want are entirely within your reach. The market is demanding these skills right now. So eliminate the distractions, open up your code editor, and let's get building.